The snow has returned to northeast Wisconsin, and for some of us in a big way.
Yeah, some of us saw more than a foot of snow starting last night, lasting throughout the day and into this evening. And some of that snow still lingering tonight. Team
coverage from Green Bay all the way up and down the lakeshore starts right now on Action 2 News at 10.
From WBAY TV, coverage you can count on. Action 2 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It was one of those days that just reminds us of just how interesting weather can be here in northeast Wisconsin. People in our viewing area saw anywhere from a little over an inch of snow all the way up to nearly 20 inches of snow. That means some of us may be looking at a messy morning commute as some lingering snow pushes out of our area.
Interesting, a good way to put it. Severe weather specialist Brad Spakowitz has been tracking the snow all day. He joins us with a look at what we can expect overnight and a look back at what made today's snow total so interesting. Brad?
All right, let's begin with right here, right now with Snow Tracker. We still have some bands of snow around northeastern Wisconsin. It's scattered about and will remain scattered overnight, but for those of you in Door County, still some snow flying there into Kewaunee County, even along the west shore of the Bay of Green Bay and also just west of Green Bay into portions of Outagamie County, Manitowoc, Sheboygan County, Calumet County. Still some scattered snow there. Where the snow falls inland, there'll be another inch in accumulation. Those of you near the lakeshore, probably closer to an inch to 3 inches, depending on where you are and how that falls. But there are some snowfall reports out of Door County. Bailey's Harbor now up to 20 inches, and it's still snowing there, incidentally. Lake effect snow occurs when you get really cold air moving across relatively warmer surface waters like Lake Michigan, and the situation we had with chilly air here last night, even today. That cold, dry air is just like a sponge. It sucks up the moisture from the lake. It creates clouds. It dumps us as snow. And for the longest time, last night, earlier today, we had that south wind. Take a look at this radar loop. This is 26 hours beginning at 8 p.m. last night, running all the way through the most recent imagery. Watch right here. You're going to see in just a moment this lake effect snow band right there. See it coming off of Lake Michigan, right across Door County, there for hours on end, and that's why it accumulated there and in other spots. We'll talk more about the snow and, more importantly, our next snow event. There's another one right around the corner. We'll talk about that and weather in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that lake effect of snow, the term we've been using really all day. People along the lakeshore definitely took the brunt. That's a car under there, as you can see today, that snowfall.
Oh, that lake effect really makes a big, big difference. And as Brittany Schmidt found out, the farther north she went, the higher the snow measured.
Cami and Bill, our meteorologists have been talking all day about that lake effect when it comes to the snowfall throughout the day. So we decided to get on the road. We're heading all the way up to Door County, and on our way, we're going to stop and kind of measure to see what that lake effect really looks like on the ground. So it's about 3:45 in the afternoon. We're just off of Highway 57 in Brussels. So we'll check to see what we're looking at here as far as snow totals. Ooh. So here I'm looking at 9 inches. Yeah, about 8.5 to 9 inches here in Brussels. Next stop was right off Lake Michigan in Sturgeon Bay, where we measured about 10 inches around 4:30 p.m. Then we kept heading north along the western side of the peninsula to Egg Harbor. Definitely deeper out here. Okay. Yeah, we're at about 10.5 inches here in Egg Harbor already, and it's about 5:15. As we continued our path north to Fish Creek, the roads definitely got more slick as the snow came down, but we took our time and made it there around 5:30. Woo! I lost my stick almost. Okay. All right. So we're still at about 10. I would say about 10.5 here in Fish Creek. We saw even more accumulating snow once we got to Sister Bay. We're at about 11.5 to 12 inches here in Sister Bay, and it's a little after 6 o'clock. Our last stop as we headed back to Green Bay was Bailey's Harbor, one of the hardest hit by snow. So we're at about 15 to 17, 18 inches here where we are in Bailey's Harbor, but I know that there are other places that have 18 to 20 inches, even more than that. And as you can see, it's still snowing. So anybody who's been shoveling all day or shoveled a couple times, it's not stopping right now. In Door County, Brittany Schmidt. Oh goodness, my leg's stuck. Action 2 News.
Happy to report she is okay back here in the newsroom. Everything is good. Now, as Brittany mentioned, one of the hardest hit areas by the snow was Bailey's Harbor.
And that is where our Aisha Morales spent most of the day checking in with the people digging out.
We've been in Bailey's Harbor all day long and all evening long as well as the snow continues to fall. Not as much snow anticipated through the rest of the evening. These folks got plenty of snow. We've been checking even the depth with this yardstick all evening long as well, and in some places anywhere between 15 to 20 inches. Right here we got about 14 or so, but a lot of the folks here, they've been embracing it. They have a very good attitude about it. We spent some time with a family, Bernie Friedenfels and his family. They say they love the snow. This is what they live for, especially in the wintertime when things get a lot quieter for folks in Door County. They made it a group effort to dig out of the snow in their home. He was using the snow blower. His son was shoveling, and his daughter was sweeping snow off of her car. He also helped a gentleman who was a little bit stuck with his vehicle, so we got to see that in action as well. And we also caught up with a couple snowshoers, so a lot of these folks took advantage and have taken advantage of the time that they're getting with this snow. A lot of people have been waiting for this amount of snow, but this is what the two snowshoer women had to say.
Love the snow, love the snow. It's deep. It's definitely a good workout today, but this is what winter's all about. It's just fun to get outside and breathe in some fresh air.
So as you can see, they have a very good attitude about it. Another thing to talk about is the roads. That's something very important. If you're headed out anywhere tonight into tomorrow morning, just play it safe, as of course those snowplow drivers, they're trying to catch up and do the best that they can. If you do see them, just make sure you get out of their way, use your headlights, and play it safe out there. Reporting in Bailey's Harbor, Aisha Morales, Action 2 News.
And as always, before you head out the door in the morning, you can find your latest weather and time-saver traffic only on Action 2 News this morning. You can find everything you need for your to stay, that is, in the loop on the go. Then you can do that on our mobile apps and WBAY.com.
And let's bring it back home once again. Believe it or not, it appears there's someone or someone that are loving all the snow that we're getting right now. Stone Boat Farms in Door County sent us this picture of their camels enjoying the nearly 20 inches of snow up there.
I didn't know there were camels in Door County.
I didn't know they liked snow.
So many questions, once again.
Ships in the desert, or from the desert up there?
They seem to be okay.
Yep.
We'll be back. Brad joining us once again with more on a very busy weather pattern.
It's certainly been a busy weather day. Here are some area snowfall totals, and I want to, right off the top, thank those of you who took the time to either post some of these totals on my Facebook page or email them to StormCenter 2 or phone calls. We really appreciate your help. But here are some of the totals. 20 inches now at Bailey's Harbor, Ephraim 19, 16 at Fish Creek, Sturgeon Bay 11, 10 at Two Rivers, Algoma 9, Sheboygan just shy of 8. Elsewhere, Fond du Lac about 2, 2 at Berlin and Hobart, and 2.5 at Freedom, Kaukauna 2.5. Here at StormCenter 2 in downtown Green Bay, 3 inches, about the same at Sebeski. Some other reports: Brillion 3 inches, 3 at Oconto, Pembine 3.5, Shiocton 3.5, Peshtigo 5. Luxembourg Casco about 6.5. Neenah 1 inch, Seymour 2.5, though it's snowing there now. De Pere 4.5, and Denmark checking in with 5 inches of snow so far. So there will be some additional accumulation of snow here. It's going to be scattered about, but where it falls inland up to around another inch, that would be around Green Bay, the Fox Cities, into Calumet County. But for those of you closer to the lake, Door County, Kewaunee, Manitowoc, Sheboygan, you could get another 1, 2, maybe even 3 inches in accumulation here for the remainder of the night. In fact, Lakeshore residents, you have a winter storm warning until 6 a.m. For the rest of us in that blue area, it's a winter weather advisory until midnight. It should expire there at midnight. But here's Snow Tracker, and we still have snow there across, well, especially Door County. You still have snow falling also along the west shore of the Bay of Green Bay, back over there, as I mentioned, around the Seymour area, also throughout portions of Kewaunee County, Manitowoc County, Sheboygan County. You still have the snow here. Again, this will gradually be winding down as the night wears on. Let me show you a pinpoint predictor. In fact, I think Predictor has a pretty good handle on this. We'll pick it up 11 p.m. and the snow bands coming and going, kind of diminishing as they sag southward overnight. As you start the day tomorrow, maybe some flurries along the lakeshore. Most of us will be dry. There might even be a little bit of occasional sun between the clouds, but here's the noon hour. Tomorrow, there's going to be lake effect snow off of Lake Superior, and maybe some of those flakes of snow drift southward across northeastern Wisconsin, maybe in the afternoon hours. We'll wait and see. Your highs tomorrow should be mostly in the upper teens and low 20s. Fortunately, not much wind, but with that said, still at 7 a.m. it'll feel right around 0. It feels like around 11 at 3 in the afternoon. So quick reminder, tomorrow morning there's still some leftover slipperiness, especially near the Lake Michigan shoreline. Might get a little push of light snow late in the day, Thursday or Thursday night. No biggie there, but keep a close eye on Sunday into Monday. That's likely mostly snow, but some of you, especially south, might have a little mix thrown in for good measure. So we'll be tracking that system for you in the coming days. Well, meanwhile, Antigo, you're the cold spot with some breaks in the clouds there, 9 degrees. The rest of us, though, mostly in the teens and 20s. Officially at the National Weather Service in Green Bay, 18. Feels like 5, and north wind at 13 miles per hour. So light snow scattered about tonight, up to another inch inland. For those of you near the lake, another 1 to 3 inches in accumulation there. For tomorrow, can't rule out a spotty morning snow shower near the lake. Otherwise, a partly to mostly cloudy sky and right around 20 for a daytime high. And right around 20 once again on Wednesday with a mix of sun and clouds. But unlike tomorrow, Wednesday will feature blustery winds. Thursday afternoon, you could get a little push of light snow, but milder. 29 there. Great ending on Friday, 35. Still 37 there on Saturday as the clouds thicken. 35 Sunday and 28 Monday. And again, Sunday into Monday, snow, maybe a little bit of mix.
Folks up in Door County waving the white flag. Trouble is you can't see. There's too much snow.
I think you got a call inviting you up there.
Really?
To visit.
I love Door County.
Bring your snowblower, though.
Here in Northeast Wisconsin, students and staff at St. Norbert College used Martin Luther King Jr. Day to give back to the community. In a long-standing tradition for the college, students and staff used it as a day of service, volunteering at shelters in the area. Organizers say giving back embodies what SNC is all about.
The group of people that are out in the various places are just very excited to be putting their faith into action and serving others. At the end of the day, you just go home with a really good feeling of what you're able to do to help others.
Today, 150 SNC students volunteered at 14 sites across Brown County, and others gathered to remember Dr. King and his legacy at Lawrence University tonight.
Celebration, one of the largest in the Fox Valley, and this year, tonight's keynote speaker decided to focus on immigration reform. As Jason Zimmerman reports, much of what Dr. King said on the issue was echoed tonight.
On a day to remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., people from across the Fox Valley packed the Lawrence University Chapel.
It's always good in life to take a moment and think about what are the important values of our society today. And I think Dr. King celebrating his life, his birthday, really allows us to do that.
One of those touched by the words of Dr. King was this year's keynote speaker, Allie Wayne, an undocumented organizer who's been in the U.S. since the age of 9, but still doesn't have citizenship.
We're trying to dispel some myths around who, undocumented people, quote-unquote illegal aliens are. We're trying to complicate the narrative around the immigration conversation. Most of us who are undocumented are actually trying to fight for the right to become legal.
Wayne says Dr. King spoke about being global citizens, which is something he feels inspired by. Besides immigration, other issues came up too.
I also care about inclusion overall, and so a way for all of us to feel part of the dream, whether we are African American, LGBTQ, the women, or if you're poor.
Organizers say the celebration brought out between 600 and 700 people. This is the 27th year it's been held. Reporting in Apple and Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.
The Lady Jaguars won their first 5 league games by an average of 23 points per game. But tonight, they meet the gold standard of the league, the 23rd ranked Phoenix women, and their top ranked scoring defense in the nation. Jaguars absolutely no match. Not tonight anyway. Green Bay forcing 15 turnovers and outscoring the Jaguars 25-6 in points off turnovers. That one leads to a 3 for Allie LeClaire. She led the way with 20 tonight. Jen Wellnitz, long triple. And it's 32-12. It was 34-12 at the half. 12 points. This was a beatdown. The Phoenix show who is boss in the league. Jessica Lindstrom with 2 of her 15. Green Bay moves into first place with a 60-34 romp. Well, Milwaukee in town to face the Phoenix men tonight at the Resch. The Phoenix have lost 5 in a row, trailing by as much as 13 in the first half. In the second, though, Sandy Cohen shines. He finished with a career-high 29. GB led by 10, but Milwaukee comes back late and a chance to win, but Brock Stulls can't get the floater to go. We go to overtime, tied at 83. In OT, Green Bay up 2. Jeremiah Bell with the step-back deuce, tied at 90. Then Khalil Small on the other end. Deanne won, but he misses the free throw. So it's a 2-point game with 50 seconds to go. Bell again to the rack, tied at 92. But seconds later, ensuing possession, Cam Hankerson triple. Career high 24 for him. Green Bay holds on 99-92. So Link, how does it feel to break that 5-game skid?
We need a bunch here, but it was one. I mean, we needed to get a win, get these guys feeling good, we hit a rough patch, but, tonight was a big win, and I told the guys, you go beat Milwaukee. A lot of people will forget about some of your losses because, they want to see you beat the rival.